Hey, kids! Wait, I lost you. Oh, there you are. Okay. Hey, nice background. I'm jealous. Looks familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's do the intro.
All right, let's do it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Sean Crummell. Thank you for joining us. I'm the creator of Smacked in the Head, the animated series comic, and host of Random Back Issue Comics on this very YouTube channel. I am joined by my high school best friend, Steve. And this is usually the show where I learn how to live stream, and we generally talk about nonsense. But for the past 7 weeks, we've been talking about the Mandalorian because we needed a topic. I am anxiously looking forward to next week being over with it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You see the inside there in where the wing connects?
Yeah.
Yeah, both sides. Do you see any goddamn windows? Me neither. Oh wait, do I?
You tell me, man.
No windows. No windows on the Slave One.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I remember a Voyager episode having a window on the bottom, and there's like someone had the Christmas order, and there's no window down here.
So I have a theory that they're crossing over Doctor Who with the Mandalorian now, because the crew compartment, the crew compartment is like that's as big as it would be, and somehow it's enormously spacious and has a nice view as they're flying along. I don't like this episode.
For that reason?
For that reason, mostly.
Oh, Jesus.
Mostly. There's another reason, but...
Well, get out the vivisection Star Wars guidebook. Yeah, where they took the ships and they cut them in half and they showed you every little thing and where the parts were and how it works.
None of that means anything anymore.
Well, then what's your point? What are you mad at?
The fact that it's bigger on the inside than the outside.
Everything's bigger on the inside than it is the outside.
Like my heart.
Yes.
Like
it grows smaller each year.
Every year. The grayer I get, the madder I am.
Hate. Loathe.
Yes. But like I was like they pick okay, so we'll just start. So the episode starts and Bill Burr is working on a planet, and I'm like, oh god, it's Bill Burr. I don't hate Bill Burr, but he does a really good job acting, but I can't help think
it's always Bill Burr.
It's Bill Burr. I watched him insult Philadelphia for 45 minutes on stage.
No, exactly. He's Bill Burr. That's his character that he always plays. So it's really hard to see him playing anything else other than being Bill Burr. That's what he does. And it even starts off,
he does it well.
In this episode, it's a lot less than the first time we see him.
No, I'm just saying that he does it well. He does Bill Burr very well.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just like,
of course
it's still just Bill Burr.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I mean, even when we first meet him, you're like, what are you doing? I'm working here. Leave me alone. Why are you bothering?
Yeah, leave me alone.
Like straight away, it's like, oh god.
Yeah, so he's cutting up junk on a junk planet.
I like all the junk machines like walking around in the background.
Yeah, those things are cool because they look like animals with their claw faces. Giant robot crane
thing. The Max. When they're in the outback, those crazy weird animals, almost like Dolly.
Why do I the Max, right? Yes.
Stampede.
Yeah, the cartoon in comics. Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha. I was like, what movie is that? Yeah. So those were cool. He's cutting up ships and stuff.
Yeah.
The droid walks up, prison droid walks up, tells him to go with Cara Dune, and then he goes and he gets on Slave One.
Yeah.
After he meets everybody.
It's second to the last episode, and it's a fucking doozer.
It's a filler.
It's another side quest. There've been two. If I remember correctly, there was like two main quest stories that they did. that were episodes that were focused on the main quest of him doing what he was supposed to be doing from the very beginning.
Yeah, everything's
one was finding the Jedi. The second was getting to Typhon. Whatever. Yeah.
Typhon.
And then the rest of the episodes have been side quests.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Side Quest, the video game show.
Yeah.
And this episode, even though I liked the action, felt like a side quest, or not a side quest, but a video game
level.
Yeah, like we'll get to it. so he's sprung by what's her face, and my next note is effing Slave One. What the hell? Because they're sitting in the crew quarters, like I've been talking about.
Yeah,
it's enormous in there. You see the walls turning, and I'm like, oh, that's weird, but that's interesting because they've never shown that before. It's totally a safety hazard because someone's going to lose a limb.
I don't think Boba's concerned about safety hazards on his show.
Well, whatever. No, he's not really about passengers except in this show. Mm-hmm. And then there's a window, and I'm like, I thought they got on Slave One. Are we on a space station now or something? No, it's Slave One. The inside's enormous. There's a window, and then the ship flies away at the normal scale, and I'm like, that room does not fit in that ship.
Yeah, it's part of the script, though. It was made for dramatic effect. Go ahead. I'm just saying dramatic effect. That's about it.
Which I think this episode made me realize that they do things throughout this series without thinking why they're doing it. They just do it to move the story or because they think it looks cool.
Well,
as someone who has been writing his own science fiction story for a long time, that's infuriating. Because you have even George. I've heard things where like actors are like he had reasons for why the Gungans threw the blue bowling balls. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like you don't just make something to push the story. You make something because it needs to be there. There's a reason for it existing, and it helps with the story.
Well, probably the set designer of this episode did not understand the mechanics of the Slave One.
Or the interior of it, or have any of those aforementioned books that exist.
I used to have a bigger model like you. Whoa, how you doing? I used to have a bigger model like yours, but
this is from that game. I never play the game, but I have some of the ships.
I think all I have is the Micro Machine somewhere around here.
Yeah. So what are you trying to demonstrate? We can pull up an image if you want.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they thought I'm just trying to so I can get a point of reference.
Slave One. Yeah, we could do the cutaway if I can find it. What would that be? Cutaway. Cutaway. Slave One cutaway. Oh, that's incredibly helpful. I wonder if there is a window. Which one do you want? You want the blue one? You want the Boba Fett one?
Well, the blue one I believe is like destroyed. I don't believe that's the first Slave One. I believe that's just whatever Jango called his ship.
Yeah, it would have to be because I'm gonna open this one anyway. In the Clone Wars, they do crash it, and I'm like, what the frick?
Yeah, see, I would believe Boba would take that ship and maybe either take the parts from it and build off of it, or he designed a new ship based on the ship he grew up in, essentially.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, that's the scale. Nobody looked. Fucking Disney. Nobody ever pays attention to stuff. They're just like, it's Star Wars, let's do it. And they just jump in and think that they can do this stuff. And it's like, no, you have to think about this.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's so many people that are like, you're just being a nerd. And I'm like, shut your face. Let's try this. This is probably going to work good enough. I can't. You know what? I'll pull it into Photoshop so we can zoom in and out. And then in the meantime, you can look at this one. Application window, share. Boom. Look how big they are. The crew quarters were like double this size in this show on the Jango, if you're comparing to the Jango one. Stupid. Let's open the Boba one. It's going to be the same thing. See, that's the thing with these books too. Since they threw out the expanded universe, I'm like, were these included? Do these mean anything now?
No, of course not. Anything that had to do with
Sure.
that doesn't have the Disney logo afterwards as part of the expanded universe, and it's all thrown out, and they can redesign it and tell them how it works.
Horse crap. There you go.
See,
no window. No window.
Okay, well, see, what I'm thinking is what they thought. What they thought when they looked at either this one or whatever cutaway they found, or whatever image they found to base off this slave one interior into. I'm thinking the way they thought it rotated, it came up,
like further down, like the crew quarters is like down here.
Yeah, like we'll see where the pilot is, that round circle, half circle
here.
thing.
Yeah,
the pilot.
Yes.
So when it turned, I think they thought the crew quarters came up to where the pilot, right underneath the pilot, and it like they saw half the window of his window.
So you're thinking there's a room back here?
No, not in the back here. It's up in the nose front where the crew quarters would be. Right, it'd be in the front part where the nose is. Right, that's where your cursor is. That's the crew quarters.
I'm trying to in my head turn it.
Yeah, and so it comes up and it comes to the window because they didn't have the window until it tilted up.
So it would do this guy, and they're like looking up and back. I don't know. Even
see when it comes up that way, I think it comes to where they're sitting,
like
right
here.
Underneath where the
like they would be here. Yes,
right there.
This cross section accounts though for the fact that you would need somewhere to sleep. Like right in here, these look like bunks to me.
Yeah. So that's the crew quarters there. They like brought the flooring up is what it looks like, and they put a space between, or they put like a divider between the captain or basically the captain's room and the crew quarters.
They ruined it. They ruined it is what they did. Because even if I said, okay, I could see it being this area right here where the bunks were. This guy right here, this area.
Yeah.
Even if that is true, there is no decoration in there. It's like 4 chairs.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. I just assumed, like, when he says put Captain Solo in the cargo hold, I always assumed it was like around there. Unless it means that like this ramp lifts up and you can like shove crap in there.
Yeah. Well, the ramp lowers down because it comes off the tongue. They go walking up in, and he's cargo at this point, so he's not going to go in a bunk. I always assume they just put him where he puts all the rest of his cargo.
Yeah, probably this area.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because he does have to have sleeping quarters and quarters for himself.
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing that I don't think people making Star Wars anymore think about.
No, of course not.
And then it's like
the script calls for them to have enough room, so they make enough room.
Yeah, that's it.
I did notice for the first time, at least I think this might be the first time, of Dune's eye tat.
Dune? Cara Dune. Yeah.
I thought it was a beauty mark.
Yeah, me too for the longest time. But it's just the rebel symbol.
Yeah.
What do they call it?
That was
Isn't it the Phoenix or Starburst or something? Crest? I don't remember.
I like
freaking Force Awakens stuff. What?
I like Unleashed. Boba.
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
He almost shit his pants, and then he sees because he thought it was the Bando, and then he sees the Bando, and then he shits his pants.
Yeah. Did you like that his armor is painted again?
Yeah, of course. He got his armor back. He's got to spruce it up. Fuck yeah, I would too.
Yeah, I'm back and forth. I'm like, I like it all jacked up and showing personality, and then at the same time, I'm like, oh, he fixed it. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
And then there's some real
old dirty bastard was wearing it. I'm gonna spray paint. I'm gonna spray that out. I'm
gonna fumigate this thing. Then there's this is a nerd calling other nerds, or there's like people online. They're like, in the last episode, his antenna was bent. That's why he missed when he shot. And this one is straight up. And I'm like, shut up.
He wasn't. He said he missed, but there's no reason he would be like. He had one rocket. Why the hell would you shoot the bottom one? That makes no sense.
Oh my god. People are complaining about the rocket, and I'm like, fucking Slave One has a window. And they're arguing with me.
The concept of arguing about the fucking rocket. It makes no sense for him to have shot in the bottom rocket. He didn't like that. Makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. But they're like, where did he get spare rockets from? And I'm like, I don't care. The ship has a window.
I mean, the ship has like all the spares he needs. And he just kept it like the ship. Obviously, he kept hidden from the Jawas for the last 50 years or how long.
Like, I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
He hid. I mean, come on, it's Jawas. They would have sniffed that stuff out and stripped.
Oh yeah, well, they would have stripped that crap out.
So he had spares.
So they're springing.
Talking after that.
They're springing Bill Burr because he has clearances and protocols from being an Imperial back in the day. That's the whole reason they're getting him.
Yeah, side quest.
And then he's like, I need to access a terminal to get the coordinates to Moff Gideon. And I'm like, all the terminals in the Empire just happen to have those coordinates? How do you access that? Why would that be an accessible thing if you're your highest official? Technically, it's not like you can go to a terminal and find out where the president's going to be.
For this episode.
What's that?
That's the bad writing for this episode.
Oh, it gets worse. We're getting there. So they have to go to this planet.
Morak or something?
I don't know. I don't remember any of these planets now. It just sounds like phlegm in your throat and making it up. I don't know. But they
stories that go with these things. We don't know the history of these planets. They're just names to us.
Yeah, and I don't retain them.
Right, because they don't have any history for it. Right?
Yeah, sure. But their Imperials are transporting Rhydonium.
Yeah, Rhydonium.
Yeah, I didn't know how to spell it.
Rhydonium. It was like, how did they spell it? Since I do the captions on, I can. It's like RIMB, IUMB.
Whatever. So Bill Burr makes Bill Burr jokes at Cara Dune, they're amusing, whatever. And then they go to this planet and they're like, we need to get on those transports, which they call juggernauts, but they're nowhere near as big as the ones in the Clone Wars or the prequels. So I was like, shouldn't we call them mini knots? And then he's like, they're gonna recognize your face for some reason if you are in the system for the ISP. And I'm like, hey, that's better. I was hoping for that one. I don't know. I guess Imperial something database.
Oh, yeah.
Did I freeze?
IMB. No, it was the IMB or the IBM. It wasn't the IBM.
I thought it was the IS, the IBM.
The IBS.
ISB. Oh,
I think that's like a celiac disease thing.
Probably.
It was the IBM or something like, or the IB. Yeah, Imperial Military.
I did like because they're trying to decide who's gonna go, and they're like, I can't go because they would recognize me for being a rebel. She's like, they would know me, and then Boba is like, let's just say they would know my face, and I was like, prequel humor, that's actually good.
Yeah, no, I don't know how I felt about it. I was like, ha, that is pretty funny. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, everybody's a clone still. Would the clones still be alive at this point? Or they all died out?
Debatable. They had accelerated growth.
Oh, that's right.
So even Rex being around after Jedi is like, I don't think he'd be like. What?
Was he around in Jedi? I know he was around in New Hope. They said he fought in the Battle of New Hope.
So if you ask Dave Filoni, the idiot, he's like, I want the guy in Return of the Jedi with the beard that steals the biker scout outfit to be Rex. And I'm like, please no. I like Rex, but please no. Anyway.
You froze this time. There you go.
Oh, am I right now? Anyway.
Yeah.
So they're looking from a mountaintop at the mini knot, and it's going to drive into a cave. They jump on the back of it to steal the stormtrooper outfits that are actually like tank driver outfits from Rogue One, like just in a darker color. And Mando's like, I'll go, but they're not going to see my face, so they're going to steal the outfits and sneak in. We'll get to all my problems at the end of this. It's funny because they're putting on the outfit, and Bill Burr is like, "Oh, this guy's reeked," and I was like, "That's kind of funny." And he's like, "Oh, the gloves are still wet," and I was like, "That's disgusting."
Yeah, he really painted the picture on that one.
Yeah.
I felt his discomfort because I've been there.
So I actually do like Bill Burr in this episode. He's got the most personality out of everyone.
It was and his personality was completely different from the last time we saw him. Like I said before,
I don't remember the first season.
Oh, he was like way jacked up on like caffeine pills and
I'm awesome.
Super hyper, yeah, kind of, but super hyper at the same time. Like a kid without his Ritalin, and then just like raging out because he forgot his steroids or something. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Completely different character. I guess prison time.
Yeah.
Worked for him.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So they're driving, and he's talking about how he can't see in the helmet, and he said, I don't know how you people deal with it. And he says, by you people, I mean Mandalorians. And I was like, stupid.
Yeah.
And then it occurred to me that Boba Fett is basically just Chewbacca now, because he just stays in the ship.
Pretty much. It's the Mandalorian, not the Mandalorians.
Yeah, well, remember when the show was going to be a movie called Boba Fett?
Yeah, something like that. But this is how it would have been.
So they're driving. Hello?
Hey.
Sorry, it froze for a second. Are you there?
I'm here. Are you there?
Hey. Oh.
Hey.
I think it's catching up now. Oh, what the hell? I think my internet's just stupid lately. I had to restart it the other day, and it's been acting dumb. So they're gonna drive the Juggernaut into the base.
Yep.
It's a standard Star Wars sneak into the base routine.
Yeah, sneak any kind of routine. I mean, we've seen this troop 1,000 times before.
Yeah. If they go too fast.
Incredibles.
Yeah. Do they do that in the Incredibles?
Yeah. When he gets onto the island, I think she's got Elastigirl has to do it.
Yeah.
He gets on the train. I mean, you see it all the time. You see this sneak into the thing.
Wear the outfits, sneak in. I would check all of my guards every day in and out. Be like, lift your face, scan your face, whatever. But
they rip off people's faces, pulling out eyeballs.
It's like that meme I sent you, where the traffic sign said "must wear face," and the guy's going, "I have rights." It's good. So if they drive this stupid truck too fast, the junk inside will heat up and explode.
Yes, and they are volatile, so that means shake it.
But it's an ore, right?
Yeah, it's a Star Wars ore. They had all kinds of weird. Remember, the periodic table was like probably.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's got
ores that were acting like chemicals, like if they got shaken up. I know you don't want to take plutonium and start shaking it around and throwing it against the wall.
Well, you don't, but
I mean, this is rhydonium, so.
Oh yeah.
They had throw it anywhere.
I know that the spices were all different temperaments from the Han Solo trilogy. They had to like mine some of it or refine some of it in like pure darkness or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I never understood what the spice was. I thought it was like a drug.
They are, but they have different effects. There's like a a variety of them that do different things. So going too fast and this stuff will explode. But then you have pirates.
They didn't really feel like pirates to me. They just felt like saboteurs, and because they weren't trying to steal it, they were just trying to blow it up. So that's not a pirate. Pirates steal stuff to make money.
Oh, did you?
That's true. Steal stuff for their own agenda, but they don't just blow shit up. That's a terrorist or something else.
Did you find it forced when he's like, New Republic or Empire were all just invaders on their land or something?
No,
good.
I wasn't gonna say it felt forced. It just felt like he's seeing the war. He's seeing the war from the side of the civilians, like of the people who are being freed. That's just like all it is just people coming in and telling us how to live our lives.
Sure.
But it doesn't matter who it is. I don't think it felt forced. It was just the way he was, just because it showed the people on the sides. It showed these. No, it fit the scene.
It was natural.
Yes. It fit the scene.
Well, then I would say that was natural.
Kind of, yeah. Well, the scene wasn't really natural. I mean,
the scene, all the scenes are stupid. In any other decade, I would think nothing of it, like him saying that. But lately, I feel like that same conversation is cropping up in a lot of different stories. And in any other decade, I would be like, it's just the writing. But now I'm like, are they trying to cram messaging in again?
No, see, in any other decade, I would have been like, well, that was forced because we were at war every other decade. We're in one war still, and we're slowly backing our way out of it. It's, but yeah, no, we're not really at war with anybody. So it's not like it's being forced. We're not really doing anything.
Just like, is this another Hollywood trying to cram its beliefs down people's throats?
I mean, if anything, we're backing out everywhere, so it's not like
it's fine.
No, any other decade, I would have been like, "Ooh, that's a inside
commentary."
Agenda. Yeah, but it's in this decade, I would say no.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was just that line, and then he keeps talking, and I'm like, it works, but I couldn't decide if that first line was like, come on, just do the story. Don't try to preach. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I get it. But you have to understand in this decade, all the writing is reflecting real life.
Which is infuriating, which is why I was like, are they trying to do a message, or are they?
I don't know. I mean, if you look back at the last 10 years of television and then go back 10 years, so we start at 2000, go back to the 90s and see how bad the sitcoms were. And the sitcoms, everybody watched what was number one throughout the 90s, and then watch at the 2000s, see what was number one. 2010s in the last decade, you see what was number one, and it was just like, are you serious? Like, you can see how bad they get and then how better, and then we go back to where I have no idea what I'm talking about. Hey, look, trees.
I don't know. I was waiting. That background is amazing, especially with the Boba Fett helmet. No. I did like him saying your rules will start to change when you get desperate to Mandalorian because of this helmet thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine, but they pay that line off with the dumbest situation.
But that line was foreshadowing setup, so you knew it was coming, and they had to find a way to do it. So they just used this episode to do it.
The writing is just bad, so it's fine. It's fine.
Do you remember the name of the episode got me in the beginning?
I don't remember.
The Believer. I was trying to figure out through the whole thing who they were talking about, and I think it's Mando.
Yeah, why would who else would it be?
Exactly.
Because he's got like a faith or a strict doctrine that he's
slowly
adhering to, or he's trying to adhere to.
That he's slowly realizing is bullshit. Either bullshit or he can't follow it.
See, I think good. Sorry.
I was just going to say, he's not, like in most religions, if you can't follow the doctrine, you're supposed to punish yourself one way somehow. You're supposed to, like, 10 Hail Marys. And then
Sure.
like another sect of the Catholic faith, you're supposed to whip yourself, or you're always supposed to do something punishable to yourself if you break the doctrine or whatever your sins.
The one thing I really, really enjoy about this show is that they almost never show his face. And I think I've told you this. And I can see him as a character that exists on his own because I associate him as that voice and that helmet. I never want to see Pedro. And I think they're building up so that he's just never going to wear the helmet.
Yeah. He'll wear it when he goes into battle, but he won't wear it when he'll wear it like that's it. Yeah, I agree. That's what I said from when we saw the other Mandos in the
beginning. Keep pulling off their helmets and stuff.
And they're like, "Oh, you're part of a different sect." That was the lead up to him being able to not wear his helmet and be able to show his face.
Well, you'll be right.
An actor, and you're paid by your acting ability and your looks and all this other stuff, and you're told you have to wear these helmet now for the whole thing. It's the same thing with the superhero movies. That's why they take their masks off all the time, because they don't want to keep their faces covered. I guess one is uncomfortable all the time.
It's crap.
Two, it's just they're paid for their looks.
It's garbage.
So,
garbage. I would have cast the show.
Anybody can be in the suit, and I guess
most of the time it is the stuntman. I've heard.
Yeah, for season 1, I haven't heard about this season because there was a lot going on with him. There was I think he was in a car accident or something, or he wasn't able to make to a lot of the sets. So it was.
I thought he was doing like a Broadway show or something.
There was something.
I don't know.
But this season, I believe it was more him in the suit than the stuntman, because that's the other thing. It's like, oh well, if my face is covered the whole time, why do you actually need me? You can have anybody in it. So that's why.
Which is exactly what I want. Get rid of him.
Well, that's Carl Urban and Judge Dredd. That was beautiful. He never took off the helmet.
That was amazing. But you still saw like the lower half and knew.
Well, yeah, that's because that is Judge Dredd. He played the character to the character. It wasn't like. Don't get me wrong. I loved Judge Dredd.
The Stallone one.
Yes. Yeah. It is great. It is campy. It is fun. It is it's great. I love that movie. I am the law.
I have both of them actually.
I do too. But he took his helmet off the whole time because he had to show his face.
Yeah, I hate that.
But he looked good when he wore the helmet. Stallone had that lower jaw look of old Dredd. It was great. Loved it. But he didn't wear the helmet enough.
Yeah. So the pirates look nothing like the population of this planet. So I think they are terrorists.
They are. Are they Republicans or are they?
Are they Republicans?
Are they Republic? Are they? What are they? Like, who are these people? Or are they just?
They are cannon fodder.
Yeah,
they are.
What are they doing?
Worse than stormtroopers in this episode.
I mean, I get it, but why wouldn't you have talked to the population? Figured out exactly what was going on here instead of just charging in and doing
this is another instance of let's do this because it looks cool in the show. We have no other reason for it.
Right, I get it. It's just there's obviously a population here and there you do not like the Empire being here because they're either being forced to mine this rubidium or they're being polluted by the output of this factory and they don't know what the hell's going on because they don't have star travel.
Maybe they're all mutants. That's why they look like that.
Maybe
from
the
population he did.
When they mutate, they go in the woods and become pirates.
Sure, let's go with that. But pirates that have hovercraft. So if you're transporting a volatile chemical ore that can't be shaken around too much or go too fast, why wouldn't you use a hovercraft?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, then.
They couldn't afford the hovercrafts.
The Empire can't afford it, but the mutant faces in the forest can. Got it. Oh, yeah. This is what people online tell me, too. One friend of mine is like, I'm begging you, don't. He's like, I know all the problems with this episode. Please, just don't start. He's like, I could be a nerd a-hole so much over this episode. And then I was like, speaking of nerd a-hole, come hang out if you want, because we're going to be complaining about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much. Again, this is the second to the last effing episode. Like,
yeah,
I don't.
Nothing happens.
So much filler. Like, this could have happened in episode 4 or 5, and we could have had like a badass 4 to 5 episodes of, or what? There's 3 episodes, right? 8 episodes.
Total 8. Yes.
Yeah, cut out some of those filler episodes. This could have been episode 5, and then we would have 3 episodes of the ending, which would have been probably a lot cooler than just shoving everything into one episode once again. All the badass shit that we wanted to see.
I wonder if the last episode's going to be an hour.
Probably like 45 minutes.
So they're driving along. He's
the first
fighting.
one was what, an hour, 54 minutes. So probably.
Oh yeah, the first one was a long one. So he's fighting the pirates. They're trying to thermal detonate on the thing. They show that the armor is completely worthless in this universe. It just shatters.
Yeah.
Anyway, he fights them all off, and then more come. Like 3 waves. It was so video game. Like,
I know.
Here's 1 skiff. Here's 2 skiffs. Here's 3 skiffs. Here's 5 skiffs, and then TIE Fighters saved them.
I know, it's great.
And then they.
I questioned why the TIE Fighters shot
at it or near it.
Yeah, like around. They obviously shot around it, but why would they have shot around it and not like behind them?
Yeah,
I get needing to shoot your lead, like have your lead shots below because you're firing. I don't know. Maybe TIE Fighter pilots suck at shooting.
Sure, why not? Yeah, all of the other Empire guys suck, so let's make them suck too. So they're driving into the base, and stormtroopers come and help shoot the rest of the guys. And they used Scarif troopers, which I thought were cool because I like that design. I mostly like them in Rogue One. I look at the guys that have like the blue shoulder and then the stripe across.
Right.
So I got stormtroopers and Scarif troopers, and they're all cheering, and nobody is like, "Who are these guys? I've never seen them before in my life." But
well, apparently, with all the things blowing up, they had a rotation of just truckers coming through. I mean, you made it through. You don't have to go through again. So,
I doubt that.
I mean, that's a dangerous job. You make it through once after seeing like they had what 1, 2, 3. They were the 4th or 5th one, and they were the only ones that made it.
Yeah, you would think you'd plan an alternate route.
Whoever makes it, they don't have to go through rotation again. It's probably why it's like, oh, who are you? It doesn't matter.
Or you convert like a shuttle, because I think I saw a shuttle somewhere on that base. Fill that effer full of the ore, lift off, fly over, and land.
Yeah. I know. There's millions of different ways to get around this. But
there's this whole episode. Anyway, so
maybe they're trying to be low key. They got these pirate swamp people coming at them, but
you could just fly over the swamp people.
Yeah, but they don't want to attract. If they do that, they'll probably attract or something, and they're trying to be low key. Because he was like, "There's nothing on Morak." Well, there is, but you just don't know it. That's what you're meant to believe. But all of a sudden, there's ships flying around on Morak. There's something going on. So,
also, if their shuttle is like the Slave One, the inside could hold so much more cargo than the outside would lead you to believe. They could take their entire shipment and just fly it over and land.
So I'm telling you, the Grogu.
What are you gonna say?
He's a Time Lord.
Oh, yeah. I fully believe.
That's what I was telling you from the beginning.
TARDIS. Yeah.
You got the TARDIS. Well, TARDIS technology, not the TARDIS.
Sure. Parallel universe TARDIS. A friend of mine
was like a TARDIS Mark 58 or something.
Yeah. A friend of mine was like, "Oh, it's such a relief not seeing Baby Yoda this episode." And I went, I completely didn't notice. You can see what a horse crap character he is, where I don't even notice that he's not even in the episode.
Well, it's because he doesn't do anything for the episode except for make you go,
never does anything. He's a worthless character.
Well, he's what's driving the story right now. The story is
garbage.
Well, yeah,
he's a
not
sentient MacGuffin.
That's why I'm saying he should have been kidnapped a while ago, and it should have been the Mando trying to get him back.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Not
various encounters. You could do 8 episodes of action trying to get him back.
In the beginning, instead of going on this frog adventure, met us in the beginning, or met the other Mandos, the Starbuck Mandos.
Starbuck Mandos. My friend was calling them Bimbo Fett, and I was dying.
I don't know. She's kind of badass.
Oh, whatever. They're still women. Bimbo Fets. I was like, that's brilliant. So they go into a cafeteria where the thing is in the corner, the console that he needs to read. And Bill Burr still not wearing his helmet when he could just put on a helmet and walk over there. Sees an officer sitting there, and he's like, I can't go in there. That guy's going to notice or know who I am. We need to get out of here. So then Mandalorian takes off his helmet, or no, not yet. He walks over to the console. The guys are watching him. He starts typing into the thing totally not conspicuously. And then he has to take off his helmet because the terminal's going to blow up, which seems a bit extreme for me.
I think it's going to lock down and just be useless.
Oh, well, maybe. So he has to take off his helmet to scan his face to get the coordinates to Moff Gideon because that is in there for some reason. So Bill Burr being sprung from prison served no purpose.
Exactly.
What is writing? How does it work?
Words go after words with punctuation in some places.
We write 9 pages and Robert Rodriguez fills in Boba Fett killing people. That's it.
That's all they needed there.
Yeah, I know. That's the only episode I like this season. And that one's terrible, too.
Yeah, that's got its flaws. They all have their flaws. Some of them are good. I mean, this has got good moments. Like, Bill Burr's character in this completely justifies his, becomes a better character. I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool. He has an arc. He has an arc.
His character had substance all of a sudden. It had meaning. His character had meat, I guess you would say. Was meaty. Became meaty.
He had personality.
He had personality in the last one. This one gives him a history of why he was a douche.
Yeah, he's got an arc.
Yeah. I understand why he was the way he was in the last season. And this one is they find him in the junkyard doing his time, and he's kind of chilled out.
Yeah.
And then this one he starts freaking out. Now he sees the guy that pretty much made him the way he is, cynical.
So Bill Burr comes to his rescue because the guy comes over to talk to him and he doesn't know what to say. So then they play up the he's deaf joke, which I thought worked really well, where he's just like, And I thought that was really good. And that was a good way to get out of that situation. And then this guy wants to have a drink with them, and the whole time he's talking to them, all I can think of is Firefly on Unification Day. The guy wanting to have a drink with people in the bar because I forget what it's called. Well, their evil empire finally united the planets.
The Federation now?
I don't remember. Anyway, I just thought of Firefly the whole time.
What are they called? Federalist?
Brown coats are the good guys that rebel.
Well, they were the... See, that's the other thing. That player's not really evil unless you were on...
If your guy looks like a rotten testicle that shoots lightning, you're evil. If you're leader. The Alliance is Firefly. Alliance.
Oh, yeah, the Alliance. That's right.
So he has a drink with them, and they start talking. Bill Burr and that guy start talking about Operation Cinder, which is another Disney canon thing that I normally hate. But I was thinking about it, and I'm like, if this had been in the EU, that might have been awesome. Because Operation Cinder is from the comics that they did around the time of Battlefront 2. And it's also the premise of Battlefront 2, the game. where the
For the
Emperor,
PS4.
yeah, the newer one, not the good ones.
So Battlefront 4, basically.
Yes, he sends the Emperor right before he dies. Like somehow a code goes out so that this like droid-looking guy tells all the Imperial commanders, burn it all down. So they start wiping planets and blowing up all their bases and stuff like that, which is cool because it's like a temperamental last ditch thing.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's stupid because it comes from Disney.
Most things are like that.
Yeah, sure. It's like
that's what you do when you're losing. You don't leave your evidence behind, or
you don't leave anything. Yeah, for your enemies and stuff. Yeah. So they mentioned that, and I roll my eyes anytime Disney canon comes up because it takes me out of the thing.
Well, it is theirs now. I mean, they can do what they want. They can write it how they want.
So
they won the war, basically.
They won the war they bought the war.
Yeah, they paid for it, and now they get to write the history the way they want it.
They get to ruin it.
Just like you really do. Yeah, you sent me this. I really didn't pay attention. Sorry. I know.
Well, it's just like a hologram in a mask of the Emperor, and he's saying burn everything. But it's in the comic and in the game.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's neat.
Yeah, it would be a great idea in the expanded universe, but I lost my notes.
Well, see, in the expanded universe, they never went into that. The expanded universe was all
after. Warlords and power grabs.
Yeah, it was all after, though. They never went back and showed what the Emperor did, only in Dark Empire and Dark Empire 2.
Sure, but this is like right after Jedi, and like the message goes out, like he's dead, and then these things come into the control rooms. Yeah. Anyway,
so it was like when he's like a failsafe, when his heart goes out, he sends a message to all his fleet to
seems that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get it.
And this was even before that they got desperate and brought Palpatine back. So this was just going to be like the thing that happened. Anyway, so Bill Burr shoots that guy dead because he hates him.
Why not? Yeah, I would too.
And then they escape through the window while the two chick sharpshooters are shooting guys off their back as they run up to the roof.
The roof.
The roof is on fire. And then Boba Fett flies in like Chewbacca, picks them up, and then flies away, and Bill Burr shoots the ore to blow up the whole base.
Radium.
Sure. And then on the way out, Boba Fett is chased by TIE fighters and drops a sonic bomb, which I wanted to be so much more destructive, because in the prequels, you're like, that's cool. I don't think that should work. I don't know how it's working, but if you drop that in atmosphere, I feel like that should wreck a place.
I guess it depends on how.
Well, like in the
bombs are dropped and they explode not in the atmosphere, but not on the ground either.
Right. Well, if it does that ring in space, I just, for some reason, I thought if it does a ring in space, it should just do like a bubble that just like devastates whatever. And I don't know how it's exploding anyway, so I expected it to like start burning part of the atmosphere and stuff. It's such a more grandiose image in my head.
And then technically, you wouldn't know what each atmosphere on different planets were made of. So yeah, dropping any kind of a bomb made on other planets
irresponsible.
Way irresponsible. I have no idea. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how some of the storylines for the EU went. Were that? What were those things called that ended up being the bodyguards of Leia?
Nogari or Nogari. I don't know how you say it.
Their planet was poisoned from Star Destroyers and the New Republic ships crashing and soiling their planets.
There was one, I don't know what it was. I don't know where I saw it. either a comic or it might have been a comic. It might have been a Dark Horse comic. Maybe it was a Disney thing. I don't think it'd be a Disney thing. Anyway, they were like after the Empire came in, Darth Vader sterilized Geonosis, and I was like, that's effed up.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I was like, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I remember reading that somewhere too. It was in a comic or something. Yeah, he messed them up.
Yeah, they're like, you built the Death Star, and now you're gone.
Yeah, I believe that was like along the same lines where he was murdering younglings still as Darth Vader.
That's all anybody wants to watch. So my big problem with this episode is Boba Fett would have gone in. Real Boba Fett would have wrecked that place. He would have had all kinds of contingencies to just go in and take the information and leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I believe it too.
Yeah, but now he's Chewbacca and he's flying the ship.
Yeah.
And I expect to see Rey inherit Slave One with Chewbacca and Boba Fett as the co-pilots.
Okay.
Yeah. Other problems. That was like my main thing. I was like, Boba Fett would have taken this stuff without any effort.
Show.
So. Or other things bigger in the inside.
Feel like this is the Blues Brothers in space. They're getting the band back together.
That's like every season finale now.
Yeah, but he was kind of like going along, getting the band back together from like a few episodes ago.
Yeah. Chemical. Yeah, they should have transported it on hovercrafts. We covered that. And devastation. Yeah, I think we covered everything. Yeah, no. Yeah, so writing's bad. Bill Burr served no purpose. They did not need him other than to say you need to put a code cylinder in a console to get the coordinates at an Imperial base. It's like, okay, go back to prison then. I don't need you.
Yeah, but he blew up the place, so he gets to go free now.
Great. Oh yeah, that was how it ended. They let him go because he had a moment.
Yes.
Yeah, but my one friend was like, "Please don't." He's like, "It's fantasy. If it was Star Trek, I would go hard on the details." And I was like, I get it, and I get liking it for the entertainment value. But I think my biggest issue is I've been trying to create a sci-fi universe for years, and if I don't put in the legwork, I don't expect people to cut me slack. And I feel like every episode they're just like, we'll do this because it looks cool, or we'll do this because we need the story to go. It's like, you suck. You are not science fiction writers.
Yeah, they probably also don't have the ability. They probably don't hire. They didn't hire anybody to go back and be a nitpicker to say, nope, we can't do that. Nope, that doesn't work.
Well, if you're a writer, if you're going to say, I'm going to do 8 episodes and then plan out the whole arc for all 8 episodes, because you're writing most of... Oh, is he even? I feel like Favreau...
It has been Favreau writing.
All of them?
So far, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it should be one person with one vision for the story, and then put your directors in. But
there's a writing team. They never say the writing team is writing. It's always written by somebody. He has a writing team that helps him write, basically, though.
Okay, fire all those people.
Just like all TV shows have a team of writers, and they all write the episode. They all help pitch in, but one guy takes all of it.
All the credit, yeah.
Well, I mean, they get their names in it somewhere along the line, but written by is usually just one or two people.
Sure. So I want a Boba Fett action figure where he's got the new armor and the robe. I'm sure they'll put that out next season when I've forgotten about it.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know what I did with my Boba Fett that I just got. Well,
I usually care. This is the first vintage one. They re-released him, which is the one that you have, but I gave him the axe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else is new?
Not much.
Yeah.
So yeah, next week is the end.
Mhm.
Yeah. What are you gonna do after that?
I don't know. Somebody commented on my my entire. So I am gonna do another drawing video, but it's for like it'll be talking about everything. Yeah, it really ruined my joke because I was gonna do another video. So I did the one that was entitled "Star Wars fans demands for season 2 that will absolutely not come true."
Right.
And then they showed Boba Fett, and everybody, like one of them was, Boba Fett needs to be Mandalorian's dad. I don't know how it happens, but that he needs to be his dad. And I'm like, there's no way that's gonna happen. And then they showed Boba Fett, and everyone was like, he has dad bod, and I was like, no, I'm kind of correct. Because my next video was going to be drawing and talking about how I was 100% correct in how wrong I was. But now I'm like 98%
Yeah.
wrong. You totally ruined my percentages.
He's definitely the father figure, not
Maybe. I don't know.
right. He's just too old to be the main attraction.
It's just hilarious to me because I'm like, he's his dad. And then people are like, Boba Fett's got dad bod. And I'm like, the universe is screwing with me.
Yeah, I don't know if he's. I don't say he's his dad, but he's definitely going to be the dad type.
Maybe he'll end up double crossing.
Depends if the Mando ever gets a bounty on him.
Oh yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, yeah. See, I don't even like speculating on this show because it's like any cool thing you can think of, they're not going to.
No, no.
And I know that Ezra's gonna show up. Everyone's like so in debate about this, and I'm like, why would you debate it? It's like it's
Mm,
obviously gonna be Ezra. If
I-
Filoni is doing this, it's gonna be one of his characters.
yeah, I guess so. I
And then
don't.
someone told me that there's like the moratorium's not the right word. There's like a block on using Luke for anything, but I don't know where they got that information.
Hmm.
So it's not going to be Luke because that would be the amazing,
I know.
obvious thing.
Yeah, it would be the obvious thing. It would be the thing to. It would be the smart thing to do. But why do that when we can do anything else?
If it was Luke, people would lose their minds. They'd be like, I don't care if it's terrible. I'm watching it all the time. I would be one of those people.
That's why I went to see The Last Jedi.
Yeah. You were like, well, that first one sucked, but at least there's potential.
Yeah.
And then,
see Luke.
and then
And
he
then
did nothing and died, and it died like a hot fart. And you're like, well, that's great. I'm done. I don't care anymore. This is the one thing you had to preserve was his character.
Or just use his character in a way that was true to the character.
That would be preserving the character. See, I have this theory that Luke is the soul of Star Wars and R2 is the heart. And those two characters you need to preserve at all costs. Like, you can tell stories with them, but don't make them utter scumbags or worthless. And that is exactly what they did to both of them.
Well, R2 is a scumbag.
That's fine. That's his character, but he's the heart of Star Wars. You've seen him since day one, scene one, shot one. They ruined them. Did you have you heard the rumors about like the Ahsoka show? They're like the logo looks like the World Between Worlds thing.
No, I didn't pay attention to that. I saw the. See, that's where I think Ezra will come into play. I don't see him coming into play into the Mandalorian. This is the Mandalorian, not fucking Jedi Hour.
I don't know. Everyone's like, he'll probably
and just kidnap the child and then jump back into Ahsoka's world.
Well, people are like, the last time you saw, you might have even what?
And because Ahsoka said she wasn't going to train him.
Yeah. Well, you might have even told me that that Ezra and Thrawn went into the time portal thing
No, they went
at
into
the end.
hyperspace.
Sure, the time portal thing, and people are saying that if Ahsoka's looking for Thrawn, then
space
Thrawn was.
worms on that could jump into hyperspace.
So I think you told me that Ezra was with Thrawn when they did that, and
Yes.
that's why. Yeah, like they had
That's
the
why
same
Thrawn
theory.
and Ezra are together wherever they ended up. They were together with Thrawn being alive, and because when they left, Ezra had Thrawn like in the death hole. Well, the worms did.
Full Nelson.
Yeah, the worms did, and Ezra had control of the worms, but not on where they went. He could just tell them to jump into hyperspace or whatever they call it in Star Wars. Been watching a lot of Star Trek lately.
Hyperspace.
Yeah, and then warp drive, warp space.
Warp drive is Star Trek.
Subspace.
Starburst is Farscape.
Yeah, that's right.
Stargate is Stargate.
Are you sure?
No. I don't know. So that's the only thing that people are like, oh, he would show up in Ahsoka show, and I'm like, it's gonna be Ezra.
Well, so Thrawn, wherever Thrawn is going to show up, that's where Ahsoka's going to, or Ezra's going to show up, because the last time we saw them, they were together. Tentacles wrapped around Thrawn, and Ezra like force holding them in the tentacles, like, and then the worms go, bloop, and they all. It's like 100 worms wrapping around this Star Destroyer. They destroyed the engines.
I hate when that happens.
I don't know how Thrawn got out of it. How he was able. I'm interested to see how Thrawn survived that, if they go back and show how he survived that. Because,
sure.
I mean, come on, you're wrapped in worm tentacles
constantly.
Yeah. And then they just all jump into space, pretty much going into the unknown regions.
Oh, good.
Basically, evolving.
Is Kanan dead at this point? I still haven't finished the series.
So I didn't want to run.
Oh, they did? Yeah, I didn't, because you never hear mention of him. So I'm like, oh, he's either dead or.
Yeah, he died. He didn't come back.
And didn't come back?
No, he didn't come back.
Oh, okay, because that was my other guess. I'm like,
well, he did one of those deaths where
Obi-Wan.
He had to die, but he did it for them to survive. Yeah, he sacrificed himself, basically. He went down fighting and gave himself up for.
I hate Freddie Prinze Jr., but I like Kanan. So
I liked Kanan, especially because I read how he came. I read his prequel before the show started, and I was very depressed to see that the show was about some little kid named Ezra, and I thought it was going to be all about Kanan, like continuing. Yeah. Because it was only 4 issues long, and it was his Padawan ship, and then Order 66, and then what he did after that.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good, like the things he did and how he became. And
Star Wars does nothing if disappoint. It's like watching the Clone Wars and thinking you'd see Obi-Wan and Anakin's friendship blossom, and then they introduce Penny Gadget into the mix, and she steals all the attention away, and you're like,
I feel like she was more like Punky Brewster.
In what?
In all of it.
I have very little memory of Punky Brewster, except she grew up and had a huge rack, and that's all anyone talked about.
Yeah. The show was weird. It was like part cartoon.
Oh, yeah. Didn't she have like a weasel that was her best friend or something?
She got into hijinks. She didn't give like 2 shits about what anybody thought, and just had fun.
Yeah, Star Wars constantly disappoints. It's like, oh, you can make it. You have all these characters. You can make a Jabba show if you want. Let's do a Cassian Andor. It's like, oh. You could do like a Crime Lord Mafia show with Hutts. That would be amazing.
I think they did that because that one dude's like super popular.
Super popular?
Did you see he's everywhere. Kind of like Pedro is everywhere.
I've seen Pedro in like 2 things.
Big Netflix show. Had to do with drugs.
DEA. Narcos?
Yes. The Mexico one.
I heard that he was in that. I did not watch it.
It was good.
And I saw Rogue One, and then I've seen nothing else with him.
There's been I've kept coming across either TV shows or a movie here and there with him in it. And I'm like, geez, that guy's everywhere. Same thing with Pedro. He's everywhere. I've seen him like constant. Him and Oscar Isaac. All of a sudden, you start noticing him everywhere. But
Oscar Isaac, I see in stuff, but I never see I've seen Pedro in like 2 things.
Well, see, the thing about their characters, he can change his look. They don't always look the same. Like they shave their heads, they look like completely different people. They grow out beards, they look like somebody else. Like their head shape. Everything changes about them when they can change one feature.
I'm not saying that Pedro's a bad actor because I've seen him in stuff and I'm like, wow, he's really good. He's an effing a-hole online. And I'm like, I hate you. I hope they never show your face.
See, I don't like. I'm watching this. I'm watching him do a job, and that's act. I don't care what he has to say. I mean, as long as he's not eating babies, I don't give a fuck what he has to say.
Really?
That's where I draw the line.
Oh, sorry. Ooh, baby prude. Yeah, I hate actors. There's so few of them that I'm like, oh, okay, I can watch it because I can't think of you being a horrible human being.
They're paid to act, not give their opinions. So I don't listen to their opinions. Their opinions don't mean shit. Their opinions. Well,
you also have the luxury of not being on Twitter.
Yeah.
Whereas I have to promote stuff. I have to. What?
I am on Twitter somewhere. I've got a Twitter account.
Secret to even me. I have to be on there to promote things, especially the YouTube channel and the live streams that nobody watches. But dude, that last video I did, it's done so well that it's freaking me out a little. The drawing one of Firestar.
Firestar.
Yeah. Did you see all that stuff?
I watched part of it. I wasn't able to finish it.
Oh, okay. Well, you at least know what's going on. They did the young adult thing and gave her a daughter that looks like Oswald Cobblepot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I redrew her and then just talked about that. And I was kind of angry, but passive-aggressively angry.
How are the comments?
There's a ton of them. And there's only one that had like a little bit of a critique, but all the others super positive.
Nice.
Yeah, here I can show you the. Yeah, it's freaking me out. I told Andrea it's like a real YouTube video.
Well, it's on YouTube. It would be a real YouTube video, even if it had one view. It's still a real video.
Yeah, I know that's the joke. But we're up to 119 subscribers, which is cool.
That's cool.
And then the video is up to, every time I look at it, it's like jumped again. It's 1,534.
15 or 1.5.
Yeah. Insane in the membrane.
Insane in the brain.
Yeah. So anyway.
So I'm thinking about doing reviews for WandaVision.
Hey, what, with me or on your own thing?
You can do it if you want. I might do it on my own thing because I know how you feel about the whole Disney thing. I don't want to force you into it.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
And you haven't really seen anything of the Marvel universe since.
There's like 4 that I haven't seen. 2 of them are Spider-Mans. Ooh. Actually 5. I did not watch the Wasp. Ant-Man.
Those are good. I love Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I like the first one.
You'll like the second one.
I felt weird about watching the second one. I don't know. Spider-Man, Ant-Man 2, and then the end games. I was gonna. I started it, and then Andrea and I were sitting there, and she's like, "I can't do this. I have no idea what's going on." And I was like, "Neither do I." I watched all the way to like Thor, the Love and Thunder Thighs, whatever one, Planet Hulk Thor movie. And that was the last one I saw. And then I think they did the other Spider-Man, the Ant-Man, and then the 2 Endgames.
Well, one is Infinity War, then the other last one's in.
It's the same thing.
Well, Infinity War, if you watch that one first, it'll tell you what's going on in the Endgame.
But even it starts with like Thor on a spaceship, and I'm like, I don't remember Thor being on a spaceship.
Oh yeah, you got to watch Thor. The end of Thor.
I've seen that one. I had no memory of that happening.
Where Thor like tells Loki to go and wake up the lava monster that he fought in the beginning of the movie. They put his crown on the eternal flame that's in Odin's bunker, and the thing is like, I have the power of Grayskull, and it like gets huge and starts. And then he has to fight, and so he like Thor's fighting his sister on the Rainbow Bridge, and he's like, "Fight that!"
Oh yeah, well I remember Kate Blanchett being hot in it because she was like goth girl runny mascara, but there's like bits and pieces I remember of that. I mostly remember Taika Waititi ruining Korg, the rock guy, and making him stupid.
Korg and Meek. Well, Korg. Well, no, it was Meek that was kind of.
Meek was an idiot and selfish.
But really, it was Meek who was the one who
destroyed the planet.
Yeah, and they killed Planet Hulk's kid or King Hulk's kid and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Wife and kid. Well, I guess fourth wife.
I don't know.
He was still married to Betty, so kind of couldn't be married to her. It was just his side piece. But Hulk is. Because now they've said each Hulk is its own personality. So technically, that's always been the case. Mr. Fix-It was always a different personality than.
Sure, I can see it.
So each Hulk, like King Hulk, is the strongest, and he's kept locked away. And then, like you've got Monster Hulk, you've got Joe Fix-It, Professor Hulk. Like each Hulk was just a different.
He's got multiple personalities.
Yeah. And the storyline they're doing now, the Immortal Hulk, it's really fucking weird, but it's interesting.
I bought one of those. Good. What?
It's written out of order.
Oh.
I hate how they do that.
I bought one of those comics just because I saw they had cut him up and put him in different jars, and and he's still alive, and then he brings them all together and stuff. I was like, that's twisted but cool.
And the way he transformed now, he like burst out of himself instead of shrinking back. Like, it's just it's very good. It's very monster oriented, like old school Monster Tales. It's good.
That's cool.
It's pretty popular. A lot of people like it apparently. I just hate how it's written out of order and then in order and then out of order. And then in parallel to what's going on. It's so weird, hard to read, hard to follow.
Yeah.
It would be perfect in graphic novel form where you could read the whole thing at once instead of month to or week to week or month to month, however long they take to release an issue.
Sure.
But anyways, I'm just rambling. But anyways, so if you would like to, I can start my channel thing to do the WandaVision thing. And like I said, I don't know if you would want to do it because I don't know if you would want to get into that world or not.
I don't know. It would just be me reacting to what you telling me, oh, it's cool because it does this. And I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. Elizabeth What's-Her-Face is hot. That's it. That's all I know.
Her sister's like 10 years younger without all the plastic surgery.
What's that?
She looks like her sisters without all the plastic surgery.
Yeah, she looks normal. And she looks like she acts more normal.
Yeah.
I can't, just from what I see in like whatever.
She didn't create like a $4 billion
industry or empire.
She did acting like when she was 4 years old. Like all that shit was created before.
All right, she's nuts. Never mind.
They are nuts over there. So, I mean, she's like, okay, she saw all that and was like, I'm not going to be part of it.
Yeah, I don't need home videos of or VHSs of me solving crimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem with her and the guy who plays Vision, Paul.
Yeah, he's good and stuff. And I don't hear either of them talking crap online, so whatever.
No.
I don't know, maybe whatever.
I saw the trailer. The trailer looks good. Doctor Strange is fighting himself.
Hate when that happens. No, I love when that happens, actually. I love evil twins. I hate the stupid trope where they're like, shoot him, no, shoot him. But I like when they fight each other.
Yeah, no, it's one of my favorites. Either evil clone or someone disguised or evil twin, whatever it is. I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I like when people dress up as Batman and fight Batman. I'm like, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw all the Marvel trailers they released. There was the Loki one that looked pretty good.
I didn't watch any of them. I saw Star Wars and I was like,
I didn't watch any of the trailers. I don't think I saw trailers for any of the things for that.
There was just the Bad Batch one, and then like Patty Jenkins is doing a Rogue Squadron, and it's just her talking about it, and there's an X-wing on a runway, and I was like,
see, it could be good.
Maybe.
I liked. She did the first Wonder Woman, right?
And the second one.
And the second. Well, I mean, she did the first one. I saw that one. I haven't seen the second one, so I can't go off of anything else. I don't know what else she's done. I probably have seen some of her other work, but she did. I liked how she did the war piece in Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah,
wars and with the planes and flying, and I think she could do good with Rogue Squadron.
Maybe
it's obviously going to be a war piece, so
yeah, I'm really wondering.
Rogue Squadron do some shit.
Yeah, well, she says in the trailer her dad was a fighter pilot. I think.
I did read that. So this is their dream job to do something with something like this. So I'm like, all right, cool. Lasers and airplanes in outer space. You
keep your agendas out of it. Show me ships and blowing up. That's all I care about.
That's all I care about. And hey, whatever.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, see, I didn't really care about this Star Wars stuff. I was more interested in the Marvel stuff, seeing that stuff. Falcon and Winter Soldier, I really don't. It looks fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that they're bringing out the U.S. agent.
I don't know these guys. I don't know that guy.
He was like. He wore the black Captain America outfit with the red star. He was just called U.S. Agent in the comics. But in this one, since Captain America, I don't know, you haven't seen Endgame. Captain America.
He goes back in time or whatever. Gets old, goes back in time or something.
So there is no Captain America anymore. So they create a new Captain America, which is U.S. Agent, and it's Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell's kid.
I know they have a kid. I know I've seen him in something. I can't remember who it is.
I just saw him in the Twilight Zone Netflix show. Not the Twilight Zone, not the actual Twilight Zone. The before that, something Mirror.
Black Mirror.
Yeah, he did an episode of that, which was really weird, and I thought he did good.
Cool.
Yeah, I think he'll be a good player, but I have not seen him in any trailer, at least not that I've noticed, except from the back of him wearing a Captain America outfit.
Gotcha.
What was after that? Something.
I don't know. So we'll start your channel. Start your channel and
I've got it set up.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't want to involve you if you don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
But that's not until January 15th, so got a while to figure out how I want to do this.
Yeah.
If I want to do it anyway.
Do you have time to do it is the thing.
I just mean like we're doing with the Mandalorian.
Oh, okay.
I could do mine like at midnight. I don't care. I'll do midnight showing, the late show. Like Ferguson used to do.
Oh, Ferguson. I look forward to your hate mail. Or your angry letters.
Angry letters.
I gotta wrap this up. My wife is
in an hour and 20 minutes. So yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. All right, we got one more episode left.
Yep.
I'm gonna share this screen. What screen? Don't share that screen. We'll share your dealie first. Share application. Oh no, we're still sharing it. Folks, if you stuck around this long, I want to ask that you like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow Steve on Instagram, he's at SJP Second Toy Chest. And he posts lots of toy pictures. It's a funny looking thing with his eyeballs.
Yeah, it was the title of that is the bug-eyed thing.
Bug-eyed thing. It was me. I was the turkey.
Blue-eyed thing.
Oh yeah, Ever Loving Blue. I think that's good. If you want to follow my comic that hopefully will be crowdfunding in the near future, you can follow me follow us at The Real Smacked in the Head on Instagram. And if you want to follow me where I post nonsense, I'm at The Real Sean Crummel. And if you want to follow me on Twitter for whatever reason, that's not the thing.
It's gone.
Yeah, I know. It's gone.
No one's on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter. And that's it.
If you say so.
Yeah, it's hot in here.
All right.
So take off all your clothes. Boom!
Boom, boom.
On that note, I will say goodnight until
next week.
Next episode. Final episode. I like blowing up. That's cool.
Yeah, me too. That's nice.
I'm jealous. Yeah, well, Boba Fett's kind of fuzzy too, and stuff around it. I think it's because it's green. Yeah. All right. Have a good week.
You too. Enjoy it. Don't work too hard.
Yeah. I don't know. It's busy. Yeah.
I'm going back up to Jack's. So.
Yeah, I gotta finish a Flash Gordon review.
All right. Well, enjoy your Flash Gordon review.
I gotta write the script and then add the dialogue and then edit it together. So after that, it's practically finished.
Hey, if it's part of the script, it's got to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing.
All right.
All right. Take care.
And communication. See you later. Bye.